Hello learners, welcome to the exciting world of tourism. Today we are going to discuss hotel management. So we'll initiate with what is hotel management and we will then discuss its concept and the issues in hotel management. So first of all, let me explain you what is a hotel. A hotel is looked as a home away from home. It is a place which not only provides accommodation to a guest but also takes care of his or certain other needs. That is why the hotel industry is also referred to as hospitality industry. You would recall that the concept of hospitality industry has been from time immemorial when man has been traveling for reasons like been traveling for commerce, for pilgrimage, for spreading the religion. So when he has been traveling, he has been staying in inns, dharamshalas, and a lot of kings also started building these dharamshalas for the sarais for the people to take rest, and then came the concept of hotels. So hotel is basically, it's a modern concept where when we talk about tourism is basically what? Tourism is when you stay in a place for more than 24 hours, that is tourism. And when you stay means you need a place to stay. So then there comes the concept of hotels. So when we talk about hotels, they provide you accommodation, and also hotels provide you with the fooding also. So hotels could have a common reception area, lobby area, and they could have various other services to cater to the needs of the guests. You are aware that there are various categories amongst hotels. We have the 5-star hotels, 3-star, 1-star. Depends upon the categories and the facilities. This classification could be due to the infrastructure and services offered by them, the facilities offered by the hotels. And hotels can be classified according to different types. There could be room charges, could be different, maybe the kind of hotel which you are going to stay in. It could be budget hotels, it could be luxury hotels, or the purpose of the guest stay, like you could be staying in hotels like hotels can be classified on the basis of the location. Like we have the downtown hotels which are in the city center, we have the airport hotels which are near the airport. Then we have the resorts which are especially in the hill stations or the beach areas, or we have special hotels such as tree house hotels, underwater hotels, like in Dubai we have one in underwater hotel in Dubai, or we have these hotels, the ice hotels. So in Sweden. So basically the hotels could be different. It could also depend upon the length of stay. There could be transit hotels, there could be residential hotels, then there could be on the basis of themes, there could be heritage hotels, there could be boutique hotels, there could be spa hotels. So there are n number of category of hotels which the traveler could opt for. And these days the accommodation is really very changing, and it is innovating day by day. The traveler has a lot of choices and he wants something unconventional. So the hotels are also continuously improvising themselves. So there are individual hotels as well as hotel chains. So hotel chains, like you might have heard of Taj, you might have heard of ITC, you might have heard of Oberoi's, so you might have heard of Four Seasons. So these are Intercontinental. So these are all the hotel chains, major hotel chains of the world, of India, of the world, Ritz-Carlton. So or there could be individual hotels also. So that depends upon the scale of its operation. But generally people who are looking for branded experiences or want to stay in branded accommodation only, they would prefer to stay in good hotel chains which offer good luxury. So that is definitely depends upon the budget of the client. So companies with hotel chains give due regard to individual hotel units from the point of view of profit making or managing. Basically, one chain, let's take example Indian Hotel Corporation Limited, IHCL. So they have this Taj which caters to the high-end luxury, Taj luxury. Then they have the Taj Gateway, which is for the business class. Then they have Ginger, which is for people who are looking for self check-in and doing things on their own. So they cater to different segments of clientele. Likewise, we have the ITC hotel, Hotel Fortune for the budget class, then ITC Luxury Collection for the upper end class. So hotel management is basically defined as a process of planning, organizing, monitoring, controlling the activities of a hotel for achieving the stated objectives of the organization. So definitely the stated objective is to earn profit in a sustainable way, which is very important. It's an ongoing effort and not a one-shot management effort. So long the hotel is functioning, its management functions never stops. So let us have an understanding and overview of the management functions of a hotel. So the first function is the planning function. So planning is setting hotel goals and objectives and then developing strategies, appropriate strategies to achieve them. So it could be you want to diversify the hotel from 100 rooms to 500 rooms in the next 5 years. So you could have any kind of plans, and then you have to have various strategies to achieve them. Organizing, devising a structure that assigns specific tasks to individuals within the hotel, provides for coordination of activities between different groups, and sees to the hiring and training of a staff to carry out the assigned task. Then we have the directing function. It's the process of leadership that motivates the hotel staff to perform the tasks necessary to achieve the whole goals and objectives. Definitely the right leadership can make all the difference. When people are motivated from inside, they will give their best. And when we say hotel business is people's business, so you have the customer interest is the heart of should be at the heart of the hospitality business. So you have to, we say the hotel business is not only about meeting the needs of customer, now it's more about pampering the customer. So you have to give world-class services in order to pamper the customer, and you have to delight him. Then and that all happens under a good leadership. Controlling, the process of monitoring, evaluating and providing corrective actions to the activities of the hotel in order to ensure that its overall goals and objectives are met. Now there are some basic issues. There is a definite interrelationship among all these four, and there are interdependent functions which we discussed: planning, organizing, directing, controlling. And however, it is apparent that managerial roles in a hotel include managing human resources, that is the employee activities. By and large, you are handing home the human resources. There are different people who are working in various departments to take care of the guest. Then we have the physical resources, that is the hotel facilities, the infrastructure, and definitely the finances. Once Eddystone, he further describes hotel management as a goal-driven activity, and the success of a hotel is to be measured in relation to the achievement of its goals through the activities of its managers and employees. So the goal obviously includes profit making through customer satisfaction, because as I said, customer interest should be at the heart of the hospitality business, and the customer satisfaction, and not only satisfaction, customer delight, pampering of the customer is very important. So however, for both profit generation as well as customer satisfaction, it is necessary to understand the internal and external factor that makes the hotel environment. Now let us understand what are the characteristics of a hotel business. So first of all, we need to understand that the hotel business is a service industry. Hotels we are in the service business where we are there to serve the clients, serve the guests. So you have to pamper the guests. So when you are at the service of the guest, that means you are operational 24 hours a day, and you have to. This is a guest business. Yes sir, yes ma'am. So the rate of occupancy varies. They are working 20. You would never hear that that hotels are closed. Unlike at this time that this pandemic has happened, once in a century, which happens that everything was locked down, but otherwise hotels are always operational. The rates of occupancy varies on day to day or season to season basis. This means that though the product is being maintained, used and consumed all the time, the earning or profits are not there all the time. See, the hotel business will not be always at the top, or your rooms will not be always occupied 100%. Sometimes they would be 100%, especially during the season time, and sometimes during off-peak season, unless until you give very good discounts or good package, the customer would like to come and stay. Otherwise, the occupancy rates are would not always remain the same. So likewise, the profit will keep varying. As the nature of service is very personal, every guest is special, so you have to make him feel special. uh, by maybe by taking his first name, by asking him time and again if he or she wants something, if he is comfortable. So making them feel comfortable all the time is important. As the product image is dependent and built over the collective efforts of the different hierarchical layers. For example, a good front office service has to be matched by room service, housekeeping, or a restaurant service, and problem needs immediate attention and solutions, and the response time has to be very quick. Basically, all the departments within a hotel are interlinked, and they are all working in tandem, in collaboration with each other. So the guest has a holistic experience, and to have a pleasant holistic experience, every department should equally be giving him the best experience ever. So, and even if something goes haywire, you should be very quick in fixing the problem, right? Now, another characteristic is that this is perishable in nature, this business, that there is no 100% occupancy last night. So that business, if only 50 rooms could be sold, then 50 is business, and there are 100 rooms, then 50 business is gone forever. So that cannot be stored for the next day, unlike as it happens in tourism. This is hotel business is perishable in nature. The inventory cannot be stored for the next day. It is perishable in nature. The business lost is lost forever. That opportunity is lost forever. Setting and maintaining service standards is a major challenge in the hotel business, and definitely it's a challenge to keep your service standards always high and to be abreast of the latest world-class standards. And the hotel business is definitely now new chains are coming, and hotel businesses growing by leaps and bounds, and especially with the smart technology and smart hotels, the businesses are going all online. The business models have also changed, so the hotel business is now highly seen as a very competitive industry. So it must be noted here that the characteristics are applicable not in the case of big hotels only. To a large extent, they are relevant for all segments of the lodging and accommodation units like guest houses, resorts, low budget hotels, lodges, etc. So there are many other accommodation alternatives. The same characteristics are applicable. Basically, we are talking in the context of accommodation industry. So whatever the characteristics of a hotel business, there are also other alternative arrangements of accommodation also, like bed and breakfast chains, guest houses and all. So managerial roles and functions will be different as per the organization structure and the various departments in a hotel. Definitely different functions will be assigned for different departments in a hotel, and a small unit may not have many departments, and more than one managerial function may be performed by a manager owner. Now let us analyze common issues in managing hotels. So first issue is guest services. An important aspect that differentiates hotels in consumers' perception is the quality of guest services. Deciding on the type of services to be provided and setting the quality and standards for these services is a major challenge for the management. I would like to add on here, that this would depend upon the perception of the customer also, and how well he's traveled and how much experience he has, and what are his expectations from you. Some first time travelers may have a very moderate or very low expectations. So whatever you will give them, they will take it in a happy way. But some guests who have seen the world, they are well traveled, they've been they have stayed in the best of the chains, hotel chains, they would expect the best of guest service from you. It could be maybe the valet service at the very beginning, the moment you arrive at the hotel, then the good porter services, and then staff at the front office smiling at you and helping you fix all your issues, and spa services is there, business center is there, a good swimming pool is there. If you have a kid, there is separate crèche services there for someone who will take care of your baby. You want to go for a gym, there is a gym service for you. So the guest would expect, if you want to pamper yourself in a spa, there is a spa service for you. So guests would expect n number of services. There are multi-cuisine restaurants, not only one restaurant. Today you want to try Thai food, tomorrow you want to try the other cuisine, you want to try intercontinental. So the hotel must provide an array of guest services, because you don't know what kind of clientele is coming. You have a high budget client, you have an upper class clientele coming, and that also depends upon the positioning of your hotel, what kind of hotel segmentation, what kind of people you want to capture, and what are the services you want to offer to the guests. Now the next issue is of repeat business. Customer satisfaction achieved through guest service leads to repeat business. Profitability in the long run depends to large extent on such business. However, the manager should target for having repeat visit from the guests. What I'm trying to say here is that repeat business will absolutely, the customer satisfaction is directly proportional to your repeat business. If the customer goes happy, he would definitely like to come back and stay in the same hotel property. So you have to really adhere to his needs, and if he repeats the business, obviously it would end up with profits. You would grow in your business as a hotelier, and rather than focusing on new customers, first of all you should focus on the existing customers, and you should try to retain them and give them the best service possible, so that they would like to repeat the hotel with you when they come in for the future holiday. Now, skill of the staff is another issue. The quality of guest services depends upon the knowledge and skills of the serving staff. A manager must recruit qualified staff, train them as per the hotel requirements, coordinate operations, monitor the job activities, and motivate them. For this, you must keep, sending them regularly for various soft skill training, like how to deal with the guests, how to be polite to the guests, or sending them for, how to handle complaints. So, sending them for leadership programs. Or you also have to train guests, especially for dealing with travelers who are physically challenged. You need to have some special deputed staff who can talk to such staff who are people with special abilities. So at the same time, taking care of the staff need is must, because satisfied staff would provide better service, and better service means better business. As we say, happy cows give moments. So if your staff is happy, so they will in turn make your guests happy. So another issue is of seasonality. Definitely the business at many destinations is seasonal. So manager faces the issue of maximizing profits during the strong demand period and minimizing costs during the weak demand period. When we talk of MICE travel, business trips, it is a perennial source of business for the hoteliers. But for leisure travelers, they will only travel when they will have holidays or when it's a good time to travel to that destination. So that time though, like for example in Goa, people would prefer to go during this time, October to March, when it's a good season there. Especially they would avoid going during May, June, then it's monsoon time or it's very humid there. So that time the hotels would be all on. They would have all the rooms empty. During October to March, it will be all full. So it could affect their quality, and that time during off-peak season, it could be an issue of the people don't want to go. So you have to give them maybe discounts to attract them. Maybe you could organize a festival or that to deal with the issue of seasonality. But this is an important issue. Then customer feedback is very important. As a good man, you should always work for getting customers' feedback. As I said earlier also, the feedback is the gift. So a person who doesn't give feedback means that may not be happy to come back again. But a guest who is giving you feedback, you must welcome it, whether it is positive or negative. It will help you to make your service better. And this will not only show corrective action if necessary, but also better understanding of your customer needs. Then safety considerations, whether it is a big hotel or a small unit, the management must take into account safety of the guest as well as the employees into consideration. Precautions like nowadays safety is a big matter, like especially after Taj attack in 2008 in Mumbai, the terrorist attack which happened, and the complete safety of hotel hospitality industry was at stake. So the hotels suddenly became the targets for the terrorists. So that's the same day it happened with the Trident Hotel also for Broys in Mumbai. So the safety considerations is an important issue. So now we have the metal detectors at the beginning when you enter the hotel, and they check you through the scanner also. Your luggage is also checked. It goes through that scanner. So everywhere there is a lot of checking. There are CCTV cameras installed everywhere for the safety of the guests. So you also have to, as a guest, you must cooperate with the hotel staff, and likewise precaution against fire theft, like there are fire extinguishers placed at the lobby areas, and you have the the sprinklers, water sprinklers in every room of the hotel in case of a fire break. First aid facility, medical facilities should always be available for the safety of the guest. Having a security department, or big hotels have a security department in place, a small unit assigning such responsibility to the manager. The step in this regard. This needs perfect planning with a set of rules and regulations. Now, maintenance and engineering, building and facilities, this is a different department, and that is also an important issue, because the buildings for years together, they can collapse also at times, and they also need a lot of maintenance, and facilities also need to be maintained constantly. The maintenance is required to ensure their optimum quality. So the most ordinary facilities also, like bathroom fittings, electric fittings, they are all part of the experience of the guest, and the effect is satisfaction level. So size of the property, like number of rooms, facilities, determine the size and organization of the maintenance department along with cost involved. The bigger the hotel, the bigger maintenance department has to be set up, and it has to be more into action. Generally, the activities of maintenance department include the preventive maintenance, which includes inspection for finding possible problems, such as replacing low-cost components, etc. The aim here is to minimize breakdown and ensure continuity in operations. Then we have the repair maintenance, which includes making a system functional or perform as per the set standards. Then we have the corrective maintenance, which includes replacements or corrective action follow or preventive from preventive maintenance. And then the renovation maintenance takes into account redesigning, upgrading standards. What we are trying to say is that maintenance is very important, be it the maintenance of the lawns, maintenance of the rooms, maintenance of the toilets, maintenance of the lobby area, maintenance of the building of the hotel. So everything has to be continuously on a day-to-day basis, it has to be maintained by the maintenance department of the hotel. It's an important issue to be addressed to. Then a good business organization is concerned with the customer satisfaction. Always plan and organize the maintenance functions rather than reacting to the crisis. You should not wait for things to happen, wait for the building to fall down. You should ensure that this happens on time. The maintenance, if you are proactive, then you would be always avoiding any crisis situation in the future. Today, the consumers can go for legal action also against failure to provide promised facilities on them being non-functional. Like if anything falls on the customer, he will not leave. You will go for a legal battle straight to the court, if maybe there's a current in the geyser when he's fighting, when he's taking a bath, that's enough for him to file a legal battle against you. So these things you always have to be very hands-on, being in this hospitality business. Then the last but one of the very important issues of the environment, the management of a hotel must contribute for the conservation of ecology and environment. Today's tourist is very, he's also very carbon conscious, and he's aware of his carbon footprints. And when he's traveling, he also want to travel in hotels which take care of the environment. Like we have the eco hotels. For example, is one of the examples of Orchid Hotel, the first hotel, eco-friendly hotel, Orchid Hotel, which is in Mumbai. So they have they offer environmental friendly products, and they ensure that to use proper garbage disposal, making use of solar energy, waste recycling, taking care of the cleanliness, using of non-conventional energy resources. They all should be inbuilt in the hotel plans and operations, because sustainability today in the hotels is a very, very important issue. So the hotels must ensure that that they take care of the they are in line with the environment, as the guest today is also is very careful when he travels to a place, that he does not harm the environment. And for example, a very small practice by the hotels could be that they could request their guests not to throw the linen for washing every day. So it could be alternatively washed, so that it could save upon water. So you could placing a small card requesting the guests not to get the linen washed. It's a step towards protecting the environment, taking care, preserving the water. So all these kind of things are important issues in managing hotels. Now, last but not the least is the competition is a very important issue for the hoteliers today, because it's an era of improvisation, innovation is the mantra. So the hotels do not have competition only from the hotels, but they also have, in fact, more vigorous competition from the other uh, alternative kinds of accommodations. Now, new kinds of concepts have developed, like with this concept of Airbnb, which has absolutely revolutionized the accommodation industry. So this Airbnb is what? It's an app in where you can choose to stay in self-catering apartments instead of a hotel. So here you can choose your apartment depending upon the location where you want in any destination of the world, and you have a choice whether you want to stay with the host who is providing his apartment or maybe his room, or you have the choice of staying in his apartment which he is renting out to you. So Airbnb has changed the concept. So people now, many big families, when they go out for vacation and for days, instead of staying in a hotel, they prefer to stay in these apartments to Airbnb, as they want to have that local feel. They feel that staying in a hotel is more of a staged experience, which they that means that they're not able to get the local feel staying in a hotel. Whereas in Airbnb, generally the tourists would stay in the local with the local community in the local area. So they prefer local experience because the new tourist is also changing. At the same time, there is a new concept. So this is paid concept, but there is another concept of couch surfing. This is again a very new trend. Here, the couch surfer, he would invite you to his home, and you could go and stay with him without paying anything in return. Because why he is inviting you? That you go and share your culture with him. So you talk about your culture. So people who want to gel with people from different cultures, and they want to show their own culture of their country, so they basically go and gel with such travelers. So here in exchange, you would be you would have the time of your holiday by getting the best expertise from the local host, who would tell you which are the best places to eat, which are the best places to go and have fun to bars to visit, restaurants to visit. So all these things, So this couch surfing is also a new phenomena where the youngsters also are very, passionate about, visiting destinations by meeting the couch surfers. So Airbnb is one aspect, couch surfing is another aspect. Though now there is new concept also of staycation, where you don't have to, you're not going out of your home also. You stay in your home and you enjoy the activities within your own city only by taking time out for leisure, by going to amusement parks within your city, by camping or doing in your backyard area, by taking a spa, by taking bathing in the swimming pool. So all these innovations are happening, and at the same time we are also having there's a concept of sleepcation also, where people are traveling to hotels especially to sleep stations. So many hotels have turned their rooms into sleep sanctuaries. So the hotels, they with the use of smart technology, or your lights are off, and there are dim lights, and you have those bamboo these mattresses which help you to sleep well. Then you are served with that pillow menu which helps you to get a proper sleep. So these things are very much which are coming in the hotel, in the accommodation industry. Besides, we have the guest houses, we have the lodges to stay, we have the bed and breakfast inns. Many people prefer staying there. Many youngsters prefer to stay in youth hostels. Many Travelers also prefer to stay, in hostels like Zostels and Mustache. These are the new these are the chains in India where people are traveling. Then especially the backpackers. So we can see that the besides that we have the chalets, we have the igloos. Like you travel to Norway in Oslo, there you can you can to see the northern. You travel to see the northern lights. So there in Norway, you will basically go and stay. You would like to stay in an igloo. So the choice the traveler has today is like never before, and this is an issue for the hotels. Thus, it becomes more challenging for the hotels to face the competition and come with new innovative strategies and new innovative products. So, with this, I would like to capsulate our conversation on this hotels. We started with what is the hotel and what are the various types of hotels, and we discussed the various functions of hotels: planning, organizing, controlling, directing. And then we discussed the various departments also. We just had a very small snapshot of the departments, and we discussed the various issues which affect the hotels, from the maintenance to the manpower, managing them, or to giving the best customer service to the hotels and taking care of the environment. With this, I would like to say thank you.